So these decals come from Tire Sticker, and they have instructions on the back. It comes with all the rubber decals and then also the glue for it. So it's like an all-inclusive set. Really, really good. This set was about $100 on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description. They're really thick, super durable. One set lasted me a little over a year and a half, roughly, I would say. And they've just been really high quality. So I bought them again, same company. Really happy with these. So one of the first things you need to do is in the area where you're gonna be putting the decals, you need to denib its sidewalls so that you don't have any of those rubber bits, what's the word? Hindering the adhesion or causing an uneven surface under your decal. Just as far as like determining where you want it, there's a bunch of information on the wheels, on the tires and stuff like that. If it's, junk you need to keep track of, you need to be sensitive to that. So we're just gonna put it right here over the old Nitto sign because there's a big open area, where there's not all that info and stuff on the wheels, on the tires, and on the sidewall. So we're just gonna lay it right over this. So this is where Ben denibbed it, and we're gonna just lay Nitto right over the Nitto. I'm gonna line this up just with kind of that top. It's looking like we will need to trim the bottom off a little. We're just probably gonna go in and trim like 1/8 of an inch off all the letters all around so that we can get a real nice even seat. We just took like a pen here, but we just went in and just kind of marked off like all of these.
It's what we did last time and it worked really well. Just eyeballing it,
yeah,
and cutting it, and it fits right inside the lines. The only thing is you want your lines straight. And don't be too hasty.
Side note, also, these are a white letter. I really like the white. Also, the third color on my car is white, so I have the silver, black, and white. And so white just made sense for my vehicle. But these also come in like red and yellow and gray and blue. So like this company, Tire Stickers, really has a lot of options. Nitto isn't the only decal they do. You can get all kinds of other stuff from them. So definitely check them out if you're looking for some good wheel decals and other accessories and junk like that. Great place to go. All right, so we got all these all trimmed up and stuff like that. So we're gonna do one final wipe on these with the acetone, and then we'll apply the glue. We're gonna wipe down the sidewalls one last time, and we'll put these on. You wanna make sure that you get glue like everywhere on the patch, and especially on the edges and stuff like that. Like a tip can start peeling really quickly if you don't get a nice, thorough, thick coating. Other people have recommended letting the glue set for a while once you apply it. We did that last time and didn't have as good of an application. Had to reapply some lettering as we went, like later on, as a couple weeks went by, it started to peel. So a direct glue and then put it right on the tire. So like the whole time that glue is setting, it's bonding. When we first did this, we were like, oh no, it might run out of glue. But then we got into it. It's like, yo, there's plenty of glue in this little bottle for all the stuff. So just chill out and get good coverage and don't live in fear about a glue shortage in your life. All right, so that's had 30 to 40 seconds to really get on there. It gets all over your fingers and you go, ew. So that's nasty. But, oh, look at that. Are you good? Peel this off. Try not to, like if you can help it, put your fingers on the white stuff. Because like the grease on your fingers, especially with glue on them, can really leave some marks and stains that will last for a long time. So keep your fingers off it. And that glue's, there's plenty of glue on there. I may have been a little generous, perhaps, with the glue. I'd rather like they burn off than fall off. You know what I mean? Like I'm cornering real big and the inner fender well going and like the fender scraping the top off instead of me driving down the road and the wind going and it just like flying off because we didn't put enough glue on. And since we still have not as much glue as we thought we'd have by now, we're good. We're gonna try a new technique. It's called less glue everywhere. So we're still gonna put glue like everywhere, but we're just gonna like accentuate the outside lips. You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure that we're not gonna be as worried about full coverage on the inside. You know what I'm saying? So like something like that, we'll say will be efficient. Sufficient?
You're supposed to leave room for
smooshing. Yeah. For the glue to go. Great job. And you also, with these like long pieces, with these long boys, you want to kind of be quick about it to a point, because you don't want the glue to start setting while you're still gluing. You know what I'm saying there? So we pick this up now. Get this. Oh. Well, okay. So we want that little bit of gap between that. But we want that in the same place if we can help it. I want to try and get good like angle roll, because we want it to follow all the right path. You can kind of gauge the gap from this one to this next one. That's good. That's good right there. Oh. So then you can flatten all that out. Start pushing and holding for 30 to 40 seconds. The best you can as that's all laid out. So that's nice. There's also this like sub layer of protective film like underneath the main level, like the main layer of stuff. They'll catch the glare, so you can see them if they're there. So yeah, that's it. So that's the one decal that's on. You want it to be able to sit for like an hour before going out and washing it or driving on it and stuff like that, for the glue to set and things like that. But after an hour, according to these instructions, you should be all set and good to go with your driving and stuff like that. It says we do not recommend the use of tire shine products. If stickers are exposed to tire shine, immediately clean tire shine from surface. The decals specifically, like these, you can clean with the provided tire, like decal cleaner. So like if you use tire shine, what we do is we typically just like maybe cover this with a rag or something, or just block some of the spray. We'll spray the rest of the wheel or the tire, but we'll just kind of leave it off the lettering to protect it, to increase the longevity and to keep that nice clean finish on there as long as possible. So this is the one. We're gonna do those other ones, and we'll just put it back on the car. Once the car's been sitting for an hour, we're good to go to drive off. So this is the one, and we're gonna repeat the process on the other ones. Okay, so we just finished putting the last wheel decal on, but something we ran into was we very adamantly said, you'll have plenty of glue at the beginning. And now here at the end, we're basically out of glue. There's some left, but you know what? Anyway, so.
I think part of the reason is, like last time, we used not enough glue. So that's why we had
so we used like very little glue, so we were shocked at how much we had left over. So now we're like, oh, then we'll have plenty. So we used way too much, and we're shocked at how little we have left. So just be smart with how much you put on, and that'll help you out. The other thing is, when we started out, like the first tires, the first lettering, we were going in line with this bottom rail here. Like this bottom rail is what we were lining up all our cut lettering with. But like actually, our cut line is fingered. This upper line is always consistent. So instead, what we did on like the later tires is we followed rather this upper line here and made sure we set the decal to here instead of basing it off of this lower one here. Does that make sense? Okay, so good. I'm glad that makes sense. Nod yes, right? Here we go. Yes, that makes a lot of sense. Very good. Thank you for explaining that. Yes, okay. So basing it off of the solid line up against the solid line versus off the freehand line off the solid line. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Good. So it's gonna sit overnight. We'll come back in and tomorrow we'll trim it up and make sure it's all nice and pretty and trim off all the little things. And so that's that. We're back. It's day 2. The average length of a project like this is 3 days. We're doing it in 2 days. So be sure to get that time off request in early so you can put your weed decals on. We're gonna go back in and trim off little imperfections so that we can get it looking perfect. Perfection comes after the imperfections are gone. Let's hit it. The next thing you wanna make sure you have is a good sharp knife. Okay, this is the type of thing I'm talking about. Okay, so you have this bottom like lip here, and this is sticking just past it because we're imperfect, and this is also sticking just past it because we're imperfect. So what you do, so you take your knife and you very carefully just, all right, so you just come in here, you just softly make your cut perfectly, just like I did. I mean, just like I did. That was perfect. You try to get it off best you can, and it's beautiful. This is what you do with toxic people also. You don't like it? Yeah. Cut them off. We're gonna come around this side so I can pull towards me. I'd rather do that. We did it. This is really bad. Come look at this. Okay, so this is one of the things that comes when I mentioned earlier, basing your line off of like the top instead of trying to line it up on the bottom. With this one, we definitely tried to line it up with the bottom, and I just got it way off when I should have just tried to keep everything up as high as I could to this top lip there instead of on this bottom one. You know what I'm saying? So when you do it, when you have a chance to get in here and do it yourself, I would recommend going off the top instead of trying to line it up with the bottom, because look at this. This one just turned out really poorly. And I'm very sad. Very sad. Anyway, so I'm just gonna do a little trimmy trim. That's it, boys and girls. Throw it on the floor. Appreciate that. It's been real, and that's, I think it was helpful in different ways, you know, and that maybe our learning curves maybe help someone else learn their curves. Bye.